what are the different types of objects available in the business warehouse, like an info object, that's the granular object. Again, we studied about DSO, and then there is something called info cube. So we studied all these things, and we also loaded data all the way from the flat file into the info cube until last session, right? In this session, so whatever we loaded in the last session, until last session, are transaction data, which is the one which will change quite often, right? Transaction data will change quite often, but the master data does not change every now and then. It's most of the time it stays the same, at least for some time. And if there is any change in the data, it will be only happening once in a while. Okay, so master data is the important topic, which is always has a link with the transaction data, so that you connect the two different types of data, transaction and master data, to get the entire picture of the data warehousing. Okay, so let's go ahead and start to look what is master data and what are the different types of master data and how do you load master data. Okay, so I'm going to show you something in my spreadsheet where you see this, right? Like, so if you can see the tab name, it still says info object. You know, in my first class, I would have shown you something like how to create objects, right? Info object, about the info object, right? One minute. I wanted you guys to know what class, not so 1 minute. Okay, so here when I said info object, okay, so info object is basically a single value. It holds only a single value, right? It's a field, right? Also, you see something here called a table. So what does it mean is info objects can sometimes behave as a field. It has a dual character. It can behave as a field which can hold only one character, I mean one field or one object only, or it can also act as an object, as a table. Table means it has more than one field, right? So info object has a dual character. It's based on the situation or based on scenario, we can make use of info object as a field or as an object. Sorry, as a table. Okay. So as of now, we used info object as a field only, right? So here we created info object like customer ID, name, or gender. So each of them hold only, with respect to the whatever we have created, right? So now we're going to learn how info object can behave as a table. Okay. So before we go there, I have to tell you, I have to explain to you what is the master data. Okay. So master data is something which will not change quite often, but it will be staying the same way at least for some time, right? So there are 3 different types of master data available in the business warehouse SAP. Okay, the one is attribute, other one is text, and third is in hierarchy. Okay, so in this example, if you see here, product ID, product color, price, name, unit of measurement, right? So this is the transaction data. Okay, but for the transaction data, for the product color, right? Color is basically what color can have. Color can have multiple attributes. I mean, color can have multiple definition or multiple colors. If you want to give it a different, there are many colors available in this situation where it will have multiple properties. Correct? For example, take for example color red. Okay, so this red color is just a name here, right? But this has a entire property underneath. So what we'll be doing is, for this color, there will be a set of instruction or extension of the for this object, right? That will be product ID. Product ID will be the same, right? For the color, and everybody would know that color has a name as well. The number will be there, right? When you want to change different colors on your phone or types different colors on your paint, you will see multiple numbers, right? So that's basically a number. Number is basically the one which is a master data. Again, price. Price means for this color to paint this color, there is some prices there, right? And again, for this product, the color is a color. There is a dimension for the color, and then the price to color this particular object as well. The how many times, how long, what is the unit of measurement? When how big is the object which you're going to color? Okay, so those are the properties of the what, like this transaction data. So for this transaction data, which will change every now and then, we will have a master data, and master data consists of three different types. One is the attribute, another one is a text. Okay, the attribute is the one which will represent what is the particular color, right? This color is dimension is 145, and is for the particular product ID, and the price for this color is something, and the unit of measurement is how we are going to how big is the object for the this color, right? So that's basically an attribute. But by seeing this attribute, you might not know what is the product ID, right? What is the product, right? So what you will have to do is, there is something called attribute. Attribute is the one which is the dimensions, right? We mean the definition of the master data for this extension of this color, right? There is something called text here. Text means, what does it say is, what is the product ID and what language it belongs to, and what is the description. The description can be a short description, medium description, and long description. Okay, short description means it just says, okay, laptop only. Okay, this product P001 is red in color. Okay, and then that color has now again an extension here, right, for this color. Another way is, also for the, we need a detailed description of what is this product is. For that, you have a text. Text means you give the description over there. Okay, so if you can see between these two, there is one common, all these three, let's take everything, right? All these three things, right? So there is a common field. It's called P001. It's product ID, right? That's a common field. So that we will be able to link between the transaction data, the master data attribute, and the text. Okay? So to be precise, attribute is the definition of the particular object. Okay? The text is basically a detailed description of the object. Okay? So we need these two things always to give for the better understanding of the product of the transaction data. Okay, so this works under the extended star schema. Okay, in the sense, this attribute and text will be always available in a separate place, and there can be multiple transaction data. Or it can be one like this, there can be another one. So everything will be linked to the same master data. Okay, so master data consists of attributes, text, and the one more important thing is a hierarchy. Hierarchy is basically, it depends on how how the company is structured, right? For example, in the sales hierarchy, if you can see here, the top level is a sales hierarchy, and it has a drill down of west and east, right? And then in the west you have California, Washington, and in Washington state we got multiple stores in California and Washington. Again, in the East Coast, New York and Michigan. In the New York and Michigan, we have a couple of stores, right? So this is a hierarchical structure so that all the information is stored within a hierarchy. So you can drill down and see, okay, basically what is the sales in the West Coast. And if you want to see only in California, you can always see only these two stores, okay? Only in Washington, only this store. So hierarchy is again one of the master data, so that you don't have to create every time for all the transaction data, okay? So again, I'm repeating, master data consists of three different objects. One is attribute, text, and hierarchies, okay? So we will see how to, I have an example of how to do this master data, how to create an object, okay? That's basically is here, okay? Okay, so these are the two different flat file what I have. One is attribute, other one is a text, okay? So when I say attribute, if I open up the attribute, it's already open, okay? Here you see product ID, color, and price, okay? This is the master data attributes only, all right? For this attribute, we'll see by seeing this, you might not know a lot of information, right? There should be some kind of a meaningful information for every product. For that, there is something called text. Text is basically for product 1 to product 9, we have multiple description, right? So let's go ahead and try to load these two data into the our in SAP BW, how to load master data, okay? Master data consists of two different things, right? So attribute and text, okay? And where it is coming from? It's again from a flat file, okay? So the initial process, everything is we already done with a flat file, right? How do I go to the data modeling? RSA 1, okay? All right. So first step is you need to create source system, which is already there, right? The flat file source system already there. We don't have to create it again and again. Once you create the source system, you can use the same source system for every flat file which is coming in. All right. So in the same application component, I will create a data source. Before doing that, what you have to do is you have to create an info provider. You have to go to the info provider, right? We need to create a what for the info objects. We need to create something, right? For example, you need to have a info object for product ID, color, price, and description, right? So we should see. We're going to see now how do you create them, right? So for example, let's go to the info object, okay? The same place, right? Wherever we created, right? I'm going to right click, create info object, okay? It's a key figure. We don't want to go to this level, okay? We will go to the characteristics itself, okay? Right click, okay? Or you want to create another info catalog, which is fine as well, okay? Info object catalog, let's do like that, okay? Info object catalog for master data, okay? ZIFC for MD, okay? So that info object catalog for master data, all right? And characteristics, I'm just going to click characteristics. Okay, all right, you got created, right? Info object catalog is created, right? So now, what do you have to do? You have to activate it. No matter what, SAP will bring all your objects to the info area only when you activate. Okay, so now I activated, right? IFC, right? So now right click, create info object. Okay, I'm given characteristics, right? Z prod, what's the name? Okay, hold on. Prod ID, Z prod ID, yes, yes, study nest. Okay, SN, will just give SN. Okay, prod ID, master data, study nest. Okay, click OK. Okay, right? Created, right? So here I'm going to click give as a character string. Okay, okay, and then the what is the character? What is the number of it? 4, right? I will give as a 4. Okay, and there is something here which you should see. See, whenever you create an info object, this particular tab will always have something else by default with master data. Okay, so now I'm going to create a, this is basically a what? The top level of the info object, right? Let me just click on OK. Okay, what does it say? Okay, so it created a object for us, right? Okay, so now what we need is, this is the top level product ID, so we need couple of more info objects. One is color, we need price, and what else we need? There is something, another field we need to load is a description, right? So I'm going to, so every info object will have a tab called hierarchy. Okay, here I'm seeing something called, I'll tell you what are the things, right? So hierarchy. So hierarchy, I have to create, okay, new objects, right? Three different objects I need to create. One is color, price. Okay, so Z color. Do we have color at all? No, right? Let's see what does it do. Okay, we never created anything, right? Let's see what it will do. Okay, I'm going to check. It says it create attribute. We are creating attribute as a characteristics. Okay, color, because the color is not available at all. That's why it's asking me. Okay, go ahead and, okay, now what is this? What is the, okay, it's basically 145. You can take it as a text, not a problem. Okay, color, master data. Okay, study nest. Okay, so new, all right, character string. Let's take the character string, it's not a problem. Okay, what is the number? Number is just 3, right? I'll give 3. Okay, and then click OK. Okay, so now is an attribute is there, right? Another one I need to create is the price. Okay, Z PRC SN. Okay, we want to asking me whether you want to create. Okay, I'm going to create as a key figure. Let's create as a key figure. Okay, price is a key figure, right? Price, master data. Okay, study nest, right? It's an amount, right? Amount, and I'm going to give us a fixed currency. You guys should try with a zero currency here. Okay, fixed currency. Click on this. Find for United. Okay, let's go. That will be United States of America, American dollar. Okay, right? So fill all. What is the data type you want to give? This is basically a currency, right? So now we created a mass info object, right? And then on top of that we created attributes. Okay, right? Two attributes are there. So do we need only 2 or 3? Here we have this one. Product ID is there, color is there, price is there, and then there's another file with the product ID, which already the product description, right? The description. What do you need? How will you do it? Will you add it here? See, SAP has made our life easy by having a default field attached for the description. So when you go and see here, it's, if you see the with the master data and with the text, if this is checked always, then what does it mean is you can always give these number of text, short text. So right now we are going to only give short text only. Okay, right? Short text only. Okay. We can also, if you want medium text, long text, you can always click this one, so that you can. It will create 3 different info objects for us to load the data. Okay. Okay. So now let's again check it again. Okay, activate. Activate dependent info objects or in. So you have to activate everything else, right? So because we created all those 2, we never activated, right? So I'm going to activate dependent info objects as well. Okay, so now it's created, right? Okay, so now what are the objects? Where is the object? Like product ID, right? Product ID is the object. Underneath you have the attributes. Okay, correct? Available or not? So where is the product ID here? Try to find out. Okay. That's all info. Okay. Okay. This product ID is available in the. Okay. So this product ID is there, right? Okay, so now we have created a product ID, correct?